What is the reason you think that women who have a dream don't reach those milestones?
I have
Answers
already
already
answered.
answered. You seen it make a difference in the lives of other entities as well?
Yes, but still at the back corner.
But what made you believe that you want to grow further?
I never thought that I can demand for and negotiate for something. I will use that time to rejuvenate my energy and rather than standing.
Beautiful. You are already one of the global quality leaders. What's next for you?
Okay. The first thing
Welcome to IAmIronLady Speaks, where today I have a special guest, Mohini Hanwate, who has been one of the global quality leaders with 2+ decades of experience in some of the most well-known global MNCs leading the quality function. And it's been my privilege to see Mohini become one of the global quality leaders over the last few years, and having seen her growth, it's my privilege to invite you on the show. Mohini, welcome.
Thank you so much, Rajesh. It's a pleasure to be with you, and I always look forward interacting with you because it's always inspiring to connect with anyone from IAmIronLady for that matter. So thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Mohini, over the last many years, you are honored to become one of the global quality leaders. So, what are some of the things that you have done in the last few years to reach this kind of impact that you're making, and the kind of position that you reach, and the kind of role you reached as well?
Frankly speaking, Rajesh, quality is always looked up as a support function,
Right.
And then one thing which I have never limited myself to doing the basic quality compliance activities. So gone are those days when customers and the CEOs were just looking for the basic quality compliance or the ISO certifications and everything. Today, we have ever demanding customers. The customers are becoming more and more smarter. They want a high quality product with a low cost. With such a competitive environment, here is where, as a quality function, I don't focus on just improving the quality of process, people, or product. It is more on how do we add value to the business. And frankly speaking, the challenge is if you continuously do right things, no one will notice it because you are in the support function until unless there is one escalation, one serious quality issue which is hampering and impacting your brand, and it is directly hitting to your bottom lines. So that's how the quality function is important.
Right.
I never defined my box of that. No, this is the only thing which I'll do as a quality leader because that's what limits your growth.
Right.
And that is the success mantra for me.
Beautiful.
Going beyond your responsibilities, ensuring what is that one thing which is a pain area for your customer, for your CEOs, and what is the market and customers' expectations. Identify the risk, opportunities, mitigate and support those CEOs to drive the business.
Beautiful. So beautiful.
That's what I can
so
say.
in today's market, so many people in the support functions are losing jobs. And therein lies a lesson that people can take from your journey and your mindset, that don't treat your function or your work as something that I will just support people with, but go beyond, look at making a bigger impact to the business, understand the business aspects as well. Don't just keep looking at only the
Basic compliance, you can say.
Yeah.
That's right. I totally agree with you, Rajesh, on this.
Wonderful. So, Mohini, about 3.5 years ago, the first time you came in touch with the IAmIronLady platform, you had already had a lot of success in your career. But what made you believe that you want to grow further, and what made you approach the IAmIronLady platform?
Okay. The first thing, I was so contained, Rajesh, before I joined IL. I was in such a comfort zone. Visibility was never a challenge for me. I was being a quality head. I was always interacting with the CEOs, business CEOs, divisional CEOs. So visibility was never a challenge. And I had that myth, that my work will speak for me. And that is something which was broken by IAmIronLady. I still remember when you used to take sessions and when you used to say that, you're doing this, there
Yeah.
are some set of questions you ask and I say, yeah, this is happening with me. This is happening with me.
Right.
So I was very contained, and that is where I came out of my comfort zone. I expanded my expectations with when it comes to what I should get, my worth and my
Get what I'm worthy of.
ha.
Uh,
And then I realized that the biggest myth of my work will speak for myself was broken by IAmIronLady session, and I realized that I will get what I negotiate for it and not for what I deserve. So this is something I started. I started having courage to speak for myself.
right.
Till the time I joined IAmIronLady, I had never negotiated. I had never asked. So whatever came, it was just based on the work which they felt that I should be given. But it was never demanded from my side. And this is a one major change which I have seen in myself.
Wow. So tell me, what kind of things that you believe you could have negotiated for, but you never negotiated? Was it about money? Was it about positions? Was it about your resources? What kind of things that you
Everything, if you ask me, Rajesh, everything. I still remember whenever there was any challenge in any part of the organization, I was the go-to person. In fact, if there's any challenge in one of the business, people say, oh, can we have Mohini in that position? I also took a lot of changes within the organization because there was some challenge in that business. And I have gone beyond my work, but I always took it as this will be a learning for me. I never thought that I can demand for and negotiate for something because it is something extra which I have done. So that's a big mind shift change which has happened in me. I felt that I kept on adding work for me, but I never demanded anything.
But even today, I see that a lot of women still believe that they will continue to keep working hard and good things will come in their way. Today, you being on the other side, you are also volunteering and supporting other iron ladies as well. So, what do you tell women who believe that it's okay, things will come in my way and I'll need to keep working hard and people will be fair and companies will be fair? What do you tell them?
Whenever I interact with the ladies, is the self-doubt. Whether and I never had that, by the way. Even without self-doubt, I was not able to ask for myself.
Wow.
Whereas whenever women come to speak with me in our sessions, they are like, but do you think it is the right time? Do you think he will give me? Do you think I'm worth it? This is my gap. They focus on their weakness. And that is something which has to change in women.
And we keep telling this again and again that focus on your strength,
Yes.
highlight your strength, implement your projects, do the work to using your strengths. Still, a lot of people find it difficult to identify their strengths because I think the society has kind of pressurized and forced women to keep on focusing on their weakness and being
Weakness.
perfect, isn't it?
Yes, that's something. And if you ask me, 15 years ago, even I still remember my husband had told me that why don't you aim for that position, which was very. I said no, but I can't speak the way he speaks. So again, I knew my topics well. I was the one who was preparing the presentation. I was the one who was driving everything. But still, I was focusing on the weakness. I never thought that I should do something to improve it. And later on, I improved. I was always the one after every presentation where people say, yes, the message was so clear. And even after removing that weakness, I never thought that that I can dream of that position. So that is something which, as a women, we are always thinking, no, I'm not having those skills, or I'm not good enough to go for it. And that is something which we need to break. And that's a big mindset change which we need to drive as a community, I must say.
Beautiful, beautiful. What were some of the moments in the last 3 years of your journey at Iron Lady where you moved from I should not do it to I will do it and I will make things happen. I will go out of my way to accomplish the biggest things that you were out to accomplish?
I think the fear of breaking the comfort zone. Whenever I speak with women in the jobs, this is exactly what is there. They don't change, they don't take a risk. I have increased my risk taking capabilities.
Right.
I'm taking risk at personal levels
Beautiful.
as well as career. So I know if these things go, it will be a disaster for my career.
Right.
But I dare to speak. I dare to challenge the status quo. I dare to share the audacious goals which I have, where people think this is impossible to do. But I don't keep it for myself. I say, this is what I'll do it. You cannot have business transformations by playing safe. And this is true for any type of function for that matter.
Right.
So you have to do some things which will change the game in the world.
Beautiful.
And that is something which I love to do.
So you stayed in the same company for more than a decade, isn't it? How many years were in the previous?
More than 15 years.
More than 15 years, and you developed the courage to shift, find new opportunities, and find new roles which are super exciting for you. And you went out of your way to convince your family, everybody,
Yes.
to be in those new roles as well. So,
Yeah.
what kind of shift that you had to go through? What kind of fears you had to overcome to be able to do that?
Again, this was, I think, people will not even think of taking a location change for that
Right,
matter.
right.
My daughter was in 10th. And, I know women to whom I work, they are like, my daughter is in second class, third, her exams are going on. That's how the women overtake the responsibility. This is what I feel.
Yeah.
Sometimes kids don't even need. Today's generation is much smarter than what as a mother, what you'll do, you'll just monitor whether they are doing it or not.
Yeah.
And I think till pre-corona, I never nagged. I never checked what my daughter is
Right,
doing in her
right.
studies. But in her 10th, I took a decision of a change of a location, which
Wow.
was a big thing for me. Thank God she passed with the flying colors. That's a different story. But just imagine if something, if she
happened,
would
yeah.
have not done properly, it was a big risk. But
Yeah.
I took that risk.
Beautiful.
I took that risk. I said, nothing doing, I'll do it. I'd made the settlement. I did all the planning at home, that this is what it will. I requested my extended family to support when in my absence. They came from the hometown to Mumbai just to support my daughter. And then everything settled down. And I discussed with my daughter, this is what is it. Are you okay? And she was in me. So one thing which Iron Lady Principles has taught me is speak, talk with the family. Let it be any small issue which is there. Speak across, align the requirements, the expectations, and this really helps.
Beautiful.
And sometimes you feel that, again, as a woman, we have that guilt feeling, whether I'm doing it right or not. But if your kid says, no, you're doing it right, if you have 100% energy, you'll go 1,000 times for the same thing when your kid and your family is with you.
Beautiful.
So that is something which is...
So you went out and negotiated with them and spoke to
Yes.
them and dealt with
Yes.
and sold your dream as well.
Yes.
I assume. Beautiful.
And
So
now
good.
we are in a win-win situation. So it's like everyone is happy. From beginning, I used to always travel a lot. So my daughter was always used to it. But I never had that guilt. But a lot of women come to me. I leave my daughter. I really have that guilt that I'm not giving her a lot of time. And then I look back and I think what I did differently. So first of all, I never had a maid before I had a child, before my daughter was born. Because I had my time, I could spend time in kitchen and doing the household chores. But as soon as I delivered a baby, I kept a cook. I outsourced all the activities, and I never had the guilt. I said, I will spend time with them.
Beautiful.
Today's women, what they try to do is, they try to take all the household responsibilities. They want to be perfect in each and every role. They want to be a perfect wife. They want to be a perfect mother. And that's not possible. You're one human being. You have to be perfect. Mohini for me. I love myself and I want to be perfect. And for me to be perfect, I need to settle down. And sometimes you have to compromise.
Yeah.
You will not get the same chapati, the way you prepare, the soft. But then again, I always give an example. Being in a supply chain, you outsource everything. Just imagine now a car making organization says, I want to make sure that everything I do so that everything is perfect. And if he will make the tires, he will make the nuts, he will make the bolts. He doesn't do, he outsources it, And that's how it is. If you want to increase your bandwidth, outsource it and make sure that you're taking care of the quality, on-job training and whatever you do.
So one of the things that we keep sharing with IAmIronLadies through the IAmIronLady way is that you do not try to do everything.
Correct.
Figure out what ways you can maximize your time, energy, resources, and make sure that you win when in areas that matter rather than kind of being perfect in every area. Now, how have you seen this impacting in the lives of other ILDs as well? Have you seen it making a difference in the lives of other ILDs as well?
Yes, but still at the back of the mind, whenever I share it is possible,
Huh.
they always think, okay, I have a maid, then everything will be settled. You will have a different type of challenges. You'll have to train them. You'll have to make sure that they come on the time. You'll have to spend money. If you ask me, I'm also giving women empowerment to the front lady. If I'm working,
Of
just
course.
imagine if I'm working, her family, and that's how the growth is. And I always tell them that it's in your mindset that they will not prepare. And sometimes I have seen they also give a argument that no, my mother-in-law will not allow me to have a maid. My husband doesn't like. I think last month, one of my colleagues, she was saying, my husband and my son is bringing back tiffin box because the chapatis are not as good as I made. So I have to get up at 4 o'clock. I said, okay. Then she said, well, how do you manage? I said, no, one day they will not eat. I will change the maid. Third, I will put efforts in making sure that I get a perfect outsourced partner rather than putting my hours on daily basis.
Beautiful.
What I do in my bandwidth is my lookout. I'll just relax. I will utilize. I will use that time to regenerate my energy.
I think we should share this message to every woman out there that just enjoy your life more, maximize
Yeah.
and have fun rather than trying to be a perfect person everywhere, isn't it?
True, true, true. Now, for example, if just imagine on the weekends, if yesterday I wouldn't have possible to attend the session which we had, I would have thought, oh no, I have to get up. If I have to start at 7 o'clock, I have to get up at 4 o'clock. But I got up at 6 o'clock, which is okay for me. I did my
Beautiful.
daily routine, my daily rituals, and I was there at the venue at the
Beautiful.
required time. And I didn't even prepare anything what should be cooked. The systems has to be in
Beautiful.
place.
Beautiful.
So it doesn't mean, and you should never take a guilt of that. After doing everything, they have that guilt feeling.
Yeah.
So that guilt feeling is something
I
which
think
is killing.
the society also puts that enormous pressure, right? That you want to be a good mother,
Yeah.
good wife, good daughter-in-law. You want to be good in everything.
Yeah.
And in that context, I've seen so many women losing focus or forgetting their dreams completely, which is very sad.
Yeah.
Because can we not enable women to continue to dream as well? Yes, we can. But somehow the society seems to believe that men's dreams are more important than women's dreams, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. That's unfortunately true. But this is something which I think is changing now
Yeah.
because I see lot of initiatives which are going across countries. People like y'all, which are ensuring that women are moving ahead. Today there are so many things like diversity, reservations, and this is the most conducive environment for women. And the only thing which can hold women is herself by having the self-doubt and just having the guilt of not being perfect. So if you ask me, this is the right time, go for it and nothing can stop you.
Beautiful. Mohini, a lot of women in the support functions like quality, HR, administration, and customer service, and finance, these kind of functions, especially in today's environment, they're facing a lot of pressure. Every day we hear people losing jobs or people facing those kind of challenges. So you have been in the quality function for the last so many years. In the last 3 years, how did you start positioning yourself differently compared to earlier?
So if you ask me again, don't limit yourself to the function. Because if you see even in today's automation, because it's not only the cost cutting, it's also the automation which is happening at a very very large scale. So the first job levels which are being cut is the repetitive jobs.
Yes.
As a quality, if you are just making sure that you're checking a product and passing and going ahead, you're just documenting. Today even if you just write, I want a documentation on so and so standard for this so and so product, you will get a whole manual documentation is ready. So we don't need those skills. You need to look what is the value add you are doing for the business. Yeah, I will give you some example of quality. Today we have to look what are the things which can be improved at the supply chain. What are the things which we need to ensure that entire customer to customer chain process qualities. If you have the best products or services, but if the service center person doesn't respond within some time, you'll not get that customer back. He will say, if my product doesn't work, if I'm stuck somewhere, it is not going to help. So go beyond it, identify the things which will help the business, and drive something which is really helping the customer ultimately, because he's the one who is ultimately paying your salary.
Right. And with AI coming in, what are some of the capabilities that you believe will continue to hold the quality leaders in a good state? What can they develop, and what they can learn that will have them have bright futures?
So now, these days, because of the digitalization, Industry 4.0 and the digital, I don't know if you're aware, there are digital factories which are, so everything is automated.
Right.
So including the inspection and the quality controls what. Now we need to, as a quality leaders and as a quality professionals, one has to identify what are the quality controls which I need to place to ensure that this automated line is ensuring the product quality. So we have to spend more time on the risk and the opportunities which I can identify before the product or any service is designed. So it's more of risk management, opportunity management, the framework, the strategies which we need to develop. And also, AI is nothing but huge amount of data. How do I use it? How do I predict it? And if your CEO or if your top management is taking decisions on the data, how do I ensure the data quality? So that's going to be a big career on that side. Ensuring the data quality will become a key aspect, because everything is happening around data.
Beautiful.
So how do I validate it? How do I remove the unwanted? Because it's also consuming your space, which is also adversely impacting your environment.
Right. So, Mohini, you mentioned about convincing your family. What step did you take to convince your family? What did you do, and how did you negotiate with them? Because a lot of women struggle to negotiate with their family itself, that they need to support them and so on. What kind of suggestions do you give to women who find it difficult to convince the family?
I think every case is different, but
Right.
one thing is what I realized is, again, it is in your mind. First is start with a positive note, take them as a partner, and don't go with the topic with everyone at one go.
Right.
Take step by step. First, start with the most emotional connection is your child. Start with the child. Once that is convinced, then go to the husband, and then go to the other parts of the family. And believe me, they also want your growth. If you are convinced that you want to grow, they are always ready to support. There can be hardly 0.1% people who really don't want you to grow, but in today's world, it is possible to convince.
No, but a lot of women tell me that, my husband is insecure about my growth, or my husband is not very supportive, or sometimes my husband is jealous of my growth as well. What do you say to them?
It's like, believe me, once you grow, and once you start giving them the life which they deserve, these things will not matter. It's in the initial struggle, and as soon as they will start enjoying your journey. Once you start giving them the benefits, if you start showing them what happens when a woman grows, yes, take them to holidays, start spending on them, give them some gifts. It's just an emotional thing, if you ask me. It's just an emotional thing, and sometimes you also have to be balancing those relations. It's not that everything you have to be transparent. Sometimes you have to balance. Sometimes you can also share. If that is the case, that no, if I earn more, that's going to be a problem. Tell the half truth. It's as simple as that.
Some women don't want to share about their incomes and their kind of growth with a few people who may not enjoy it so much also,
Correct,
isn't it?
correct.
Yeah, I got that.
And once you do it, yes, then definitely share it. But if this is going to be a big hurdle, identify the hurdles. Again, be ready to take the risk, Rajesh. This is something, as a woman, I feel we use this as a tool, an excuse for not growing. It's you who will take the responsibility. It's you who will drive it. This is just one of the reasons why I don't want to grow. And we as a woman, we try to keep the blame on others. This is something which is again in your mind.
So you prepare your mind first.
Yes.
That no matter what, I'll grow.
Yes.
then get everybody along.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And you be ready for the confrontation. You be ready for the fight. There are a lot of women, they don't want to discuss, bring it on the table. No, but he's going to say no. Why you're starting with the negative? And no, there might be a fight. There might be an argument. And there is where the crucibles, leadership crucibles, what you have, identify them, overcome, make yourself strong to discuss. And you should not have any fear to do right things. You're not you're not doing a murder and you're coming or convincing. You are having a growth which will benefit them,
Yeah.
which will benefit the entire family.
So, as a part of your supporting to the other iron ladies, what kind of challenges that you've seen them go through? What kind of intense crucibles and intense lack of belief that you have seen them go through?
The biggest is the self-doubt that I'm not good enough, and the comfort zone which they have. They feel that and by the way, they are recognized as the best performers. But they feel that I'm not ready. I'm a performer, but only in this environment, in this scenario. As soon as I change, I will not be able to perform the way I'm performing here. It is because they are not ready to break the comfort zone. So as a woman, we need to come out, take risk, and be ready to face it. Whatever, no matter what it is, you have to either you grow or you come down. But again, prepare yourself in such a way you have to have a plan B. So it's not that you just blindly take a risk. You should have plan A and plan B.
A lot of women face this good girl syndrome, right? They are expected to be good girls. They are continue to want to be good girls, and somehow they find it difficult to come out of that. And what do you think they should do?
If you ask me, it is a good thing to have because in today's world, if you ask me, as an emotion, what we have, I use it as a strength. It's not that anyone can use me as a doormat, I'm good, but I don't give the right to someone else to hurt me, to play with my emotions and all. So it is good thing to have because this is something which I think is a very good strength for women to have to lead teams, because you're dealing with humans. It's not, you're not dealing with the machines. But overdoing it and suppressing yourself under this trauma that no, I want to be goody, I can't say this, and then this will have a negative impact as a leader for you, because then you will not be able to fight for your team. You will not be able to, because you want to be good with everyone, and that's not possible. There will be few people who are not happy, who will consider, oh God, she's always so aggressive, she's always there, she's so pushy, she's so blah blah blah. You have to decide where you have to be good at.
It's okay to be not good as well, isn't it?
It's okay. It's okay as long as you are doing the right things. I don't think, and this world is not a place where you can be good and achieve everything. So you have to be, but you have to balance it.
See, one of the things that you and all the key community members of IAmIronLady and the key core teams of IAmIronLady, we've been passionately driving the agenda of 1 million women at the top,
Yes.
and specifically 1,000 iron ladies reaching the crore plus income benchmark. Many people ask us, why are you looking at women making money? Should you not talk about only women doing good things? Why should you talk about money, 1 crore, all that? What is your take on this women making more money?
I think if we start making money, we will be so independent. Actually, we are independent right now, and I think the society is still not ready and geared up to accept this change, what is happening right now. So if you see, there are a lot of women in top management. There are a lot of things which are happening as a society to bring the women. And for me, if you ask me, the funnel also, it is making sure the women are educated, then they are completing their graduation, they are completing apprenticeships, getting into job and so on. The biggest challenge now is the acceptability. Because of the limited opportunities, people also have a fear that most of the things are taken by women, what we will do. This is something which might be concerning for them. But it is just something which has to change as a society. And the only way to change is accepting us the way we are. And once you start growing, I think people start respecting you. and eventually it will happen. Maybe it's a long way, but I think we are on the right path, and I'm with you in driving this. And as a society, we don't understand that if we grow, the entire family grows. This is a very big lesson which people are not understanding. As a man also, it is a big mental relief, Rajesh. If he has a working partner, it is their stress levels are lesser,
course.
as because there is a sharing. They are also able to take risk
course,
in
of
their job.
I must have shared it multiple times in the community as also many forums that if Suvarna was not in a great job
Yes.
earning a lot of good money, I would have never taken those risks in starting those many companies and the NGO that I started and all that stuff. It would be impossible for me, isn't it?
Correct.
So I think it's a great, but many times I've seen people don't understand this win-win mindset that they need to create and get into this narrow mindset saying that, what if she earns more, she'll become arrogant and she will उड़ जाएगी, she'll go. All this kind of mindset, it's very unfortunate, isn't it?
But I've seen a lot of couples like you. In fact, well, my husband became an entrepreneur because I was working, and he keeps on sharing, and he doesn't feel anything,
Beautiful.
any problem in that. He said, if
Beautiful.
you're working, he was able to take a risk.
Beautiful.
And then when he was little bit into a good settling mode, I was able to take a risk. So it's win-win situation for
Beautiful.
both
It's
of
beautiful.
us.
It's
And
beautiful.
if just imagine if from one family, if two people are growing, as a society we are growing.
Beautiful.
And again, if both of us are working, we are also having a back-end arrangements for everything.
Beautiful.
So those people also coming up. They also financially growing. So it's a good cycle to link chain which we should
So
have.
what do you say? We are just celebrating the 182nd Iron Lady who reached the crore plus income benchmark. What is your message to all the Iron Ladies who reached the crore plus income benchmark?
So first of all, I'm sure these are the ones who have break the ceiling, and I congratulate them, and I'm so happy for them. And that's the best part of Iron Lady community. We celebrate with each other. And I'm so happy that it's 182 ladies now, and I think by end of the year we should be crossing 200, Rajesh.
Minimum, right?
Yeah,
So
minimum.
in the next 3 to 6 months itself,
Yeah.
Wonderful. What are some of your observations of women who reach the crore plus income? What have they done? What have you seen? What have you noticed?
They had that hunger, and they made sure that they go and win it. So this is something, and they have overcome this self-doubt, the fear, and whatever was pulling them. They identified it, they worked on it, and they implemented it. So this is something I always say: practice, 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 and that's something which they did really good.
So what did you see is a key difference that you saw in them before they kind of implemented all this and after they implemented all this? What did you see as a key difference?
Lots of, if you ask me, the way they introduce themselves, the body language, the confidence. And then I realized money gives you a different level of confidence, Rajesh. So this was really cool. And the way they explain the things, the way they deal with the politics, the way they discuss. And the best part is they are not satisfied with what they have right now. They want to give back also. So there are so many volunteers coming up. They said, if you want to have a session, I'm there. That's the best part. We want to pull most of them up, and everyone should grow together. So this was a big change which I have said. Before and after, they were like, very quiet, with self-doubt, with not sure whether it's going to happen or not. And again, sustaining at that level itself. Because growing is one part, but being ready to sustain there, again, keep continuously be ever ready with the challenges is something which they are doing amazing.
Wonderful. Mohini, after you grew quite a bit in the last 3 years, you started volunteering and supporting other Iron Ladies also.
Yeah.
Why did you want to do that? Why did you choose to spend your time and energy to support others?
Because they are stuck, Rajesh. And the thing is, what took me so long to achieve, I think the deserving people should get it as fast as possible. So that is something which, again, it's a women quality that if something good is to be done, let's do it for them. And it's just in the mind. The challenge is only if you speak with them, some things will. But it's like hitting the nail again and again and again and again. and just trying to convince them. And once they open up and they are out of the self doubt, I know they can just fly. And I want to see many women doing that and achieving their goals. And one thing which I will answer the question which you want to ask right now is, there are so many women, they say, no, I want to reach 1 crore, I want to achieve my this behavior. But the only thing which is holding them is they're just dreaming. They're not implementing and practicing the Iron Lady ways. So there are so many tools. Personally, whenever I'm stuck somewhere, I go back to the Iron Lady ways. I use them as a toolbox, and then I prepare for myself. It's my toolbox.
Right.
Sometimes I also keep near my pillow that these are the things which I have to check it out. So there are some daily stuff which I do, and there are some as and when required, I keep on using it as a
Beautiful,
toolbox.
beautiful. So now let me ask a question.
Yeah.
So, a lot of women want to reach the crore plus income, they want to reach the top, but they don't reach. What is the reason you think that women who have a dream don't reach those milestones?
I have
Answer is
already answered.
Answer is given. Very nice. As we come to the end of the podcast, Mohini, so first of all, thank you for being a core member of the community, driving so many of the initiatives at the IAmIronLady community. And as you take on the next steps of your growth, we wish you the best. And I'm sure wherever you go and whatever you do, I'm sure you will do a brilliant job. You will contribute big time to any organization that you're a part of. And it's been an absolute pleasure to support you and see you grow so much in the last few years. Best wishes to you as you make a bigger contribution in the world out there as well.
Thank you so much, Rajesh. It's always pleasure to be part of the Iron Lady community. And for me, y'all are the 4 pillars: Sridhar, Rajesh, Suvarna, and the Iron Lady community. So these are the 4 pillars based on which I'm growing. And thank you so much for having me here. And thanks a lot.